Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the coach's desk. Let me know if you are hearing me. Check. Testing. Let me know if you're hearing me, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. We're here another Tuesday night. Yes, people, are Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, wherever you are in the world. You know, letting you know that we will be discussing track and field. This is where we take it from track side. Yes, my people. Yeah, man. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. All right. So big up to the early birds. And of course, you know, we have to go through the regular routine. Please like the video, people. Like the video, like the stream. Yes, like the stream, people. Yeah, this is a means of showing your support. Watching, liking, sharing, subscribing if you're new and become a part of the family. Yeah, man. So do all that so that, you know, we will be able to continue to, you know, put out content for you. All right. And even if you don't do it, we will still be putting out content. All right. So we'll be discussing several topics in this one. And firstly, we'll be talking about Shelly-Ann Fraser Price. Will Shelly go 10-5? Well, according to her coach, he believes that she will. Am I chipping in and out, people? Am I going in and out? Just checking. Let me know if I'm chipping in and out. Let me know real quick. All right, so seems to be okay. Big up to all the persons who are here in this one. Yes, we're looking forward to a good stream. Like I said before, we'll be discussing Shelly's 10.5. You know, I did a little observation. Elaine, for the first time, ran 10.6 at the Olympics in Tokyo. And from she ran that 10.6, it was very easy for her to go to 10.5. Hence the reason she's a national record holder, 10.54. However, Shelly has been running a whole lot of 10.6. I believe it is 7 to be exact, or 8, if my memory serves me well. And she has been ramping up the numbers where 10.6 is concerned. In for a particular season, she is the leading sub 10.7 athlete with 6 for a season. You know what I mean? And I think the total is 8 or 7 thereabout. I think it's 8. So she's doing great stuff. And being that Elaine ran 10.6 at the Olympic, and then she went on to run 10.5, I would have believed, or many possible would have believed, that Shelly-Ann Fraser Price would have run 10.5 already. But that is not the case. Has she reached her ceiling? Has she peaked? There are several discussions on that. But I want to hear your views on the matter in this one. Let me hear your views, people. What are your views on this particular matter? You know what I mean? Because many would say that Shelly basically max out, right? Shelly basically max out. But I don't know, do I agree? You know what I mean? But, you know, everybody is left to their own opinion on certain topic. You know what I mean? But there are 3 more meets to go. She's going to be getting a rest. The big clash that was announced, I know that she's booked for that one, but I'm not certain if we'll see Shelly-Ann at that event. We will continue to monitor that to see if she will actually be at that event. But her coach is very optimistic. Yes, very, very optimistic on her chances of running the 10-5, in as much as he went on to say that he's looking for a national record. You know what I mean? She has a personal best of 10.60, but the coach believes that she can go and get the record. He believes that, and the record that I'm speaking of is the national record, which is held by Elaine Thompson-Era, 10.54. Shelly world lead 10.62 this year. Of course, it's a world lead. She ran that at the Monaco Diamond League. Her coach has been coaching her for 2 seasons so far, and he indicated that based on her performances, the national record, 100-meter record, is well within her sights. Right? So that's basically what he is saying. He said definitely she can do it. Her last 3 runs have been suggesting that, you know, she has been going marginally faster than before. He mentioned that she did 10.62 in the last race, and that is 0.08 of a second away from the national record. So he's saying that, I mean, we are saying that somebody can't improve by 0.08 of a second. My answer would be yes, he said. So based on where Shelly is, he's insinuating that the possibility lies that she can improve 0.08 of a second. He further opined that people can improve by 0.08 of a second, and so I think it's definitely possible this season. So he's banking for it to happen this season. I guess both of them would have been thinking about the national record. Definitely she can do it. Her last 3 races have suggested. He also pointed out that while there are a number of races left for the remainder of the season, he was not sure which one she would be competing in as yet. So even with the last 3 remaining, and she's built for races, or she has been booked, they are still not certain which she will be attending. Well, if I were to do elimination, I would say Zurich, the final one, she will be going to that one. But it's a toss-up between Lausanne and Brussels. I'm not sure which one they will be going according to what the coach is saying. Right? So he doesn't know as yet. There are some races, but we are not sure which ones we will do yet. But the possibilities do exist. We are planning carefully. to see where best to compete based on her own situation, Walcott said. And of course, as he mentioned, own situation, Shelly's priceless one. Jason Price celebrated his birthday yesterday, I believe, and they had a very wonderful time. Big up to the Prices, big up to Jigga, the big man in Shelly's life. Big up yourself. All right, so Fraser Price also won silver, 21.8 over 200 meters. I don't know why he mentioned that. But he pointed out that Shelly has worked very hard in training this season, and therefore it is not surprised by her consistently outstanding performances. So he's hinting at Shelly's hard work throughout the season would have propelled her to be performing outstandingly thus far this season. And he said that he's very delighted that she was able to win this time around. Losing is not nice. I'm happy that the hard work that she has put in tirelessly has paid off, and just for her, and not just for her, but for other members of the group. And that's his own group elite performance. I think she deserves exactly what she gets because she definitely works hard for it. The other notable, well, we don't have to get into that because you would have known that. So big up to Shelly. What are your thoughts? Do you believe that Shelly can go that 10-5? That seems to have been very elusive this season because she has run like 6-10-6. None of which is able to break that 10-6-0 barrier. All right. So let me check out some of your comments. Just to see. Woodism, big up yourself. Denise Wisdom, welcome and big up. Samantha Allen, yeah man, welcome. Davia, big up yourself, Davia. Winston Willocks, big up. Ferdinand from South Africa, big up yourself. Watching European Championship, Femke is going for the double. Yes. Ferdinand is saying 10-5-5. Clyde Morris, welcome. 1-1, big up yourself, 1-1. Audrey Davis. All right, Zebev, big up. Daniel Holland, what's up? All right, so I was coming out clear, loud and clear. Very well. B.I. Strong, big up yourself. Welcome, welcome. Tuffy Rudy, big up yourself. Stimmers going mash up them Dolly House and them. Hey, Anna, big up yourself. Soft going 10.5 next week. Shelly won't be doing 10.5 for the rest of the season. With 18 the race, she going for the 10.5. Well, if she can go 10.53, she might as well break the world record. I believe that was one of the plans for the season, you know. Possible. That's why they raced so sparingly in terms of the earlier part of the season. With Shelly, it's more difficult to determine she already peaked. We might not like to discuss age, but unlike Shericka and Elaine, Shelly's legs and body is not the same as a year ago. I completely disagree. Shelly still have gas left in the tank. She's just watching for the appropriate time to lay it all on the line. Definitely unlikely for somebody her age to make significant dent in their time. Big up opinion. Audrey, all she needs is a favorable wind. So far, she has not benefited from the wind. So if she gets that, anything can happen. Tony Green, big up herself. No record will break, men's or women's. Shelly will run a good time. The cheetah lady, Elaine, too. I'm not sure why you guys are talking about her age. Not sure if she have been watching this, if we have been watching the same races where she came first among all the young spring chicken them. Tell them, Davia. It's possible, but I think the smart money is unknown. Rosie, and big up yourself. Welcome. Shelly needs to push. Plus, Shakari and Elaine was not herself to push her either. Earl Morgan, welcome. Mark Plunkett, bless up yourself. Welcome. Shericka Blair, welcome. Kelly Ludlow, Ludford, big up yourself. Welcome. Just joining. What's popping? We have been discussing Shelly's 10-5 goal. Gregory, big up yourself. Good evening, Inspector Court. What Inspector Court, Gregory? Are you watching the European Championship? No, I've not. I just watched one race, which is finals. Oh, Inspector Coach. Why is it Inspector Coach Gregory? Big up yourself, Michael. Big up. Welcome, Michael. Welcome. All right, so we have 100 people. All right, so let's move on to the next record. Please remember to like the video, people. Drop a like on the video. Remember, it's important that you like the video. Like that video. Like that video. All right, so one Usain St. Leo Bolt about 13 years ago ran a very, very fast time, 9.58, which happens to be the world record at that time at the World Championship. Second was Tyson Gay. Third was Asafa Powell. Very fast race there from Usain Bolt. Tyson Gay was very mad because he could not imagine running the fastest he has ever run and was not able to win. Yeah. So fast forward to now, there's another record that he broke that has a particular young athlete in Noah Lyles, and by extension Aaron Knighton, aiming at. So based on talks, based on what Noah had said, he only have a few days. He only has a few days because he indicated that he has about close to 3 weeks to go, or 3 weeks max. 3 weeks, so it's 21 days. He has about 21 days in order to get ready to break that record. Because remember, he said that he needs a month. So let's see if he'll be able to get that record. I know the debate is huge. I know it has sparked a lot of, talks on social media platforms, various platforms. But is it wrong for him to be thinking very highly of himself? Talk to me, people. Do you think he's a bit too ambitious, or it's in his reach? Do you believe so, people? I want you to answer. Is this man just come up and ambitious, or he is doing exceptionally well and he basically has an argument where that is concerned? His last two races were 19.3, 19.4. He's consistently running. What you'd call fast times. So do you believe that he has some sort of arguments with, given the fact that he asked for a month to fine-tune his preparation, to work possible some, remember these races are one-off races, you know. So if he can work on a few stuff, firstly what I identify is him not running the first 100 meter that well. Right? So do you believe that he really has some argument about this record? You have not heard my view as yet on the matter. But do you believe that Noah have some talking at this thing? What say you? All right, let me check out what you're saying in the comment section. And there's a poll that I placed in the comment. You can answer that as well. Everything track. We need for you to come on. Tonight at the night, you know, everything track. Tonight, I soon drop the link. Tonight is the night. All right, let me check out what you're saying. Noah can't break bolt record according to Gregory. Big up natural Jamaican vegan. Welcome. Cedric Gainer. I have no doubt she will. I see 10.67 soon. 10.67 and she has run 10.6. Noah can run 19.2. Maybe that's the closest he will get, but he will not break it. Even if the wind is 2.0. Unless Lyles runs under 9 in the 100 meter, it's very difficult to break the world record. Bolt ran that curve like a flat 100 meter. Yup. And that's what Noah weakness is. Weakness is because he cannot max that curve. Noah, Gregory's not Noel, it's Noah. But you're saying Noel is a regular big mo. Lick him chip, know what that is. Everything chat. They say area Knighton might. Area Knighton, I am not. Area 9 is a good youth, but he has not done anything to tell me or to suggest that he is able to. Not me, not Knighton. No, that's how any top level athlete should think. That record is in his reach. When you look at his start from the 1931 race, now will he get it is a different story. No, what I'm saying though, now if he works on the first part of his race, which is his weakest part, he might go down to 19.2. But 19.19, and then somebody will say if he reaches 19.2, then why not 19.1? But I think he runs a curve slow. He comes into the straight, and you don't see that top end like you would see of a Usain Bolt. So you're not seeing that change of gear which will tell us that, you know, that Utah can do it though. No, I've not seen that. I have not seen that. Him too hype, him need to chill. Nah, his start isn't fast enough to break it. He's the only one to ever run sub 19.5 more than once in the same season. That doesn't mean anything, Michael, but that's a good achievement. Hey, coach, you remember the Smurf? There was a cartoon character in the Smurf called Big Nose. That's Noel. Can't wait for Aaron to beat him. Noah hype and chat too much. The reason Aaron can't stand him. We don't know if that's the reason. I am biased. I don't want Bolt records to be broken yet. I do think he can break the record. Yes, in the future, but not now. Smile. If it is not now, it can't be in the future, Davia. Winston Willox, he has to beat Blake record first. Remember you saying ran 19.30 the year before he broke the world record. Alright, so Noah ran 19.31. Him still not past the 30 then yet. 12 quotes. Winston is right. Of course. Noah Lyles. You can say it, Blake. When you say it, it's alright. Arian definitely has a better chance. Why does Arian has a better chance than Noah? And he has not run 19.31. As shoe technology change it, it could go at some point. Yes. No, somebody's talking. That aside, I think it would be extremely tough to beat. Bolt is a freak of nature. Technically, he doesn't have to beat Blake first. He can simply run 19.14 next. But I don't think he will go lower than 19.3. Okay. I just said that he has to beat 19.30 first. He's 19.31. And Essingberg is saying he won't be able to go below that. Everything dropping some bars on his channel. Yeah, need to go check out the bars. He a singer. Everything track, yeah, rap artists are R&B. Noel is a regular. Hello, he's spitting trash heat on the channel, Blake. Yeah, Aaron in a few years has a better chance. Lyles didn't know he was going to break Michael Johnson's record. So no, he just feels he can break when he gets out of that block. With that speed, you have to go around the corner with that speed, yeah? I believe it is too. When Bolt ran that 19.19, he never went anywhere near that time again. So it's not a given that he can beat his current PB of 19.31. He had to beat his U20 time. It was good to see all the top European athletes competing in the European Championship whilst we're looking down on the Commonwealth Games. I think Noah Lyles has a chance to challenge 19.19 based on his top end speed. But the first 100 will be his downfall. Top end, I'm not seeing much of a top end though, RDD. He looks suspect at 675, 80 thereabout. Bolt, am I right, Joe? because of his superior speed endurance. Coach, remember you want to run 19.26. Yep. That's why I'm have to beat that first. I don't think people understand Bolt. Joke out 18 to 20. He could run way quicker as a junior. With no much, not the top mid speed as Bolt. Lyles need the first 100 to be around 19.9. Lot of work in the curve. So what is not fast enough? Action, not a bag amount. Big up to the persons who are joining. To whom wasn't hype more than you be? RDD say who wasn't hype more than you Usain Bolt? Tell us now, RB. Bolt was the hypest. The only difference is that Lyles is American. No one needs to get faster. Fabian, big up yourself. Jamaicans too biased. Knighton has a better chance because of age. Look how them talk about ET and SAF breaking 10.49. So if that's the case, why Lyles can't run 19.19? It can be broken by Knighton or Lyles, but not now. Break down both guys' first 100 and 200, and you will notice they both have a lot of work to do to get to 19.30, which is a step forward in the record. Yep. He has top end, but start on the curve is his issue. Can they fix that is the question. The chunks that athletes can take off their 200 time is different from 100. It's not hard to cut 0.2. Knighton has an easier chance than Lyles because he ran 19.49 on a simple run. You just need to get this meds together and focus. Bolt's record may last for at least another decade. It's like for Shelly to run 9.10.5 than Noah to run. Better Lyles get Glenn Mills to coach him. Why? Underestimate his coach that allows him to run 19 and back-to-back world championship title. Come on, man. Don't insult the coach like that. Usain Bolt is a golden standard of sprints. All who say Noah Lyles is too much don't have any ambition. I don't believe he will beat the record, but I love him thinking he can. Yup. If you have ambition. Lyles was impressive in Eugene. That's a given. All right. Shakari Richardson could beat it. I want to everything track, man. What kind of Shakari you talk about? Shakari going on a race that a few days from now and I will get beaten, much less. Andrew, big up yourself. I'm still waiting for Noah to give us all the track. Coach, RDD is Randolph Drakes. What are your thoughts about that hand? No, man, on time normally faster than regular time, brother. And in on time, you have to add some digits to it to get it close to the regular time. Me no something to do with on time, man. I'm not frightened by that. But we just mention it because it's out there. But if you notice, I did not do a video on that. I could never count on Knighton. Too inexperienced. Count on Knighton. Too inexperienced. 19 for today and next week 19 How much for that glasses? It's not been sold, Ironman. Lyles have 100 meter of 1968. What is up with these different glasses? Are you flexing? Flexing what, brain drain? No. We have them, so we just interchange them. Don't me sure you have more than one shirt in a brain drain. So nothing wrong if me have two glasses. If Bolt ran more on the circuit, he could have lowered that record. Man broke all his records after doing rounds. And at the championship, like the boss is. People now finding how great this saying what really was. Marcel Jacobs won the 100 meter European Championship. Zarnel Hughes was second. Yeah, man, I see that. MJ never ran under 10 seconds in the 100, but his PB in the 200 is 19.3. Therefore, Noah don't have to have a faster 100 to break Bolt's record. Yes, that is true. But because Johnson's a 4.2, they realize the difference. Noah is predominantly a 1.2, so I have to improve him 100 meters. Hey, me say everything track, yeah, I get some free promotion, I say. You think me soon start charging, you know? Me soon start charging everything track. Alright, so me drop the link, people. And drop the link. Coach, explain to me what you call top end speed. The splits on his race was 10.15 and 10.916. Both world record splits were 9.92 and 9.27. He came home faster. So how is that not great top end speed? What is great top end speed? You must come on faster if in first 100 slow, Michael. You must come on faster and hammer the last 100. Look at the big difference. 10.15. You just basically him jog the corner. Top end speed is basically speed endurance, you know. I don't believe Noah's speed endurance is greater than Usain Bolt. And that's what I said. His top end speed is not greater than Usain Bolt's. So don't watch the time when he come home in a splits. Noah has a lot of work to do. Of course he has a lot of work to do. Fabian,
big up. Well, go ahead.
There, I know. We're up on track side, you know?
Yeah, man. I hope Puma watch, you know. I'm hoping Puma watch.
Just I got to that, you know. Personnel in Puma, make sure now. Which is the sponsorship. Everything, make sure you have one shirt.
Everything Chaka, come on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, good, because many need for reason, you know.
Everything, big up yourself. Hey, when you turn the phone sideways, you know, so you get rid of them block.
Alright, hold on.
Uh, everything track is brave tonight, man. Everything track is brave tonight.
It's still shit. Hold on.
Put your phone on landscape. Turn on the rotation. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
that's
up?
it.
What say you, Fabian?
You mean about the Lyles discussion?
Yeah, man. I 25, but that's so reaching on the conversation.
No, you know, Shelly is a special place, but since everything track is here and he's American, I'm going to touch on the Lyles because I'm sure he will have some form of rebuttal. Currently, Lyles cannot break that 200-meter record. Currently, neither can Area Knighton. No. Area Knighton has a better chance because of his age. That's one. No. As a coach, when you're looking at sprinters and you're thinking, how can you get persons faster? Right? So, coach is this. You're Coach Minzy. You're a track coach, you're a football coach. So, I want you to play along with me for the viewers. When you're looking at an athlete and you're thinking about getting them faster, there are two of the main things that you look on what you can improve in that athlete. What would be those two of those main things? I hope you mention it too when I think about.
Well, if it is a 100-meter athlete,
Sprinter. It's a sprinter.
Three things me I go look on still no Fabian. Me I take it up a look on notch, you know. Me I go look on technique. Me I go look on speed endurance. Okay. 2. Good. So me never hear the second one. I say technique and what else? Speed and speed endurance. Speed and speed endurance. Okay. I just technique and speed more and talk about. What if they don't have enough speed? What can you do to generate more speed? Give me one way of generating more speed for them. Plyometrics, right? Plyometrics make them explosive, give them more power. So that will bring me to my point. And this is why I believe that Knighton has a better chance than Lyles. Now, Area Knighton is skinny, which means he can get stronger. Getting stronger will generate more power. Power equals more speed. So that is one reason why Area Knighton has a better chance. Another reason why Area Knighton has a better chance, Area Knighton's form is all over the place. So with his technique, if he improves on his technique and then he already ran 1949 with not a proper form, and he can get a lot stronger. He's 18. So if he works on his form and then gets stronger, that is why Knighton has a better chance of breaking the record than Lyles. Lyles has a very good sprint form. He is strong, very strong. So as it relates to improving him speed-wise, there's not really much more strength that Lyles can get. What he will need is to be explosive. That will help him in the first part of his race. And again, how much faster than 19.3 can Lyles go? I don't know. So those are my reasons why I think right now Lyles has a lot more work to do to get there. But everything being even, I think Area Knighton stands a better chance of getting it than Noah.
I think you got a better chance of getting it done than Noah.
No, everything, Jack. I say I got this your fellow countryman.
What's up?
I say I got this man, the fastest man in America.
So Fabian. So I heard his mouth moving, but he didn't say anything. So I'm gonna say something. If we want to talk about the Area Knighton versus Lyles part, he's right. Fabian is right about Area Knighton has a better chance of getting faster than Noah Lyles does because of his age. They have a 7-year age gap. But what y'all failed to mention is that they're getting coached by the same exact people, and they're literally running almost the same times. Like, the only thing Aaron Knighton has an advantage over him is age and height. Now, with that being said, Noah Lyles has an advantage over him with maturity, and he knows how to run the 200-meter better than Aaron Knighton does because of how many just meets he's been to collectively. Now, I know the one thing that we like to do over here is what I like to do is, and this goes back to what I was going to say about what he said earlier about Knighton working on his start, same with Noah Lyles, is sled. So, like, we do sleds over here, right? So you put, I know for me, for example, I put 100 pounds on the sled and I run back and forth with it. Now, the bad part about that is if you're somebody like me and I have my dad's genetics, you get NFL legs. So you got people like me I'm trying to do that, but that doesn't work out for people like me. And I think Noah Lyles would fit into that category. Like, if I do legs, like right now I'm 6 feet, I weigh 210 pounds and I just work out, you know. But some people, they can do that and they still weigh 160. That's where Aaron Knighton fits in. So he could do the same exact type of sled pulls and work on his start, do these flying 30s and not gain any weight. But I think Aaron Knighton has 3 things over Noah Lyles, while he could probably be able to run a sub 1940 or sub 1930, excuse me. Height, age, and he can produce more power and won't gain weight because of that. So if we were going with that, I would think Aaron Knighton would be able to beat that time before Noah Lyles would. That's all I got.
Okay. I am not going to go so deeply in analyzing. All I can say is that 1949 that Aaron did was very impressive. But Fabian, I watched that race multiple times. And from what I know is stride length wasn't matching up with the stride frequency. So the fluidity that I expected in that 19.4 from what the time in comparison to how he was running, I wasn't seeing that. Hence, I said he will not repeat that at Eugene. And it did not happen. He didn't look nippy to me. Frequency, the stride pattern might be there, but you want the stride frequency to be quick.
I rewatched the race, coach. I fully understand where I say. The time surprised me. I still think the clock stopped before the 200-meter mark. That race, there are a lot of question marks about that race. But even when I look at Knighton, I am not looking at that race to make my predictions for him. I'm just looking at how he is physically and the room that he has to improve. And the fact that even if he's not running 19.4, running 19.6 at 18, 19.7 at 18, and there is so much room for improvement is pretty scary, to say the least. But he has a lot. He first has to believe that he can get there. I realize there is some form of mental hurdle for him, and Noah Lyles exploited that at the recently concluded World Championships. He has a mental hurdle, and that is the thing with Bolt. Even if Bolt is not 100%, Bolt will enter that race knowing that he is the man and you all have to try and beat me. There is no doubt in his mind that he will win. I can't say the same thing about Knight.
I like to add in something real quick though on that. Knighton is only 18. So he still has 15 years left on him. Let's say he runs to his mid-30s. He still has 15 years on him. He got time. Like, this is a guy that's literally.
I mean, that's sorry everything, Chuck. But you see, when persons talk about they have time. Now is the time. I don't like, you see, track and field is a very ungrateful sport, you know. There are things, you might do something this season or next season, you don't do it because of whatever reason, injury or something that might affect your training regime. So it is, and that's why when you see some of the athletes make their strides in terms of signing early and people make talks about it, from the scientific approach, I can understand it. Because remember, athlete as a ceiling, you know. You have a peak age group, you know. So you adding 15 to that is going way beyond. Who to say that he will keep? It's very difficult for an athlete to keep running at optimal every season, you know. And then you have person say Shelly too old, Shelly can't.
Unless you name Shelly-Ann Fraser Price.
But she can be, well, I wouldn't say she can be. She could be an anomaly because of...
She is.
Yeah, because of the exception or exceptional athlete she is now at that age. Merlin Otti was near, but Merlin Otti wasn't running these fast times like she did at this age.
Yeah,
so I mean, this thing about no he has age, I'm not into it. So the person now, Michael about this whole 200 meter Fabian, and Michael, I did not say Noah Lyles don't have top end speed, but based on the race, from what I saw, 80 meters in, he did not seem to be going or changing gear then, so to speak. So Michael went and looked at the splits, Fabian, and said 10.15 and 9.16. So it must be that his top end if he finished stronger. But obviously, the whole speed endurance work is how long you're able to hold your speed, you know.
Hold the speed.
Right? So if Noah started slow and then blast the last, that is not indicating to me that he's utilizing his speed endurance. No. Bolt ran pretty close and similar within that 200 meters of his. 9.92 and 9.27. So you could see where he was holding speed for a longer period. So Michael, I hope you get an understanding of how it is, how that is, because I don't want you to believe that because somebody run a fast split at the end, meaning say they were going. Remember, you know, everybody is seeing that Noah first 100 is slow.
Too slow.
It can't be that. Remember, you have to blast it, you know. Blast from start coming right to finish line. When we see Usain Bolt run, because of his 400 background as well, he's able to run right through. Many people
I want to add to that, coach. So just to break it down a bit. So Bolt normally gets the top speed at about 60-70 meters. So when Bolt got to his top speed at about 60-70 meters, Bolt was able to hold that speed from 60-70 meters all the way to the line. So he was able to hold that speed for about 130 meters. Lyles, on the other hand, will get to his top speed at about 110 meters because he's conservative on the bend.
Right.
So when he comes off that bend and gets to his top speed at 110 meters, he now only has to hold that speed for 90 or 80 meters, as opposed to Bolt, who will get his top speed before coming off the bend.
And remember, when you reach top speed, you know, you can't go any faster. You know, people talk about this top end speed. It's speed endurance, because when they reach top end speed, it's how they can maintain that speed. And basically, what is happening when you see some people like the top end and you see people surge past, like Usain Bolt, surge past some people. People say, yo, Usain top end. Yeah, they use it as top end, but at the same time, the correct thing is that those athletes decelerate quicker than Usain Bolt, because he's able to hold his speed for a longer period because of what? Speed endurance.
And if you're doubting, rewatch Noah Lyles races and tell me if there is ever a time where Noah Lyles has destroyed anybody on that bend. This is a 19-3 runner we're talking about. If he has ever destroyed anybody on that bend, that will tell you that he's conservative on the bend and saving it to go home. While Bolt goes hard from gun to tape. That is the big difference between Noah Lyles and Bolt. And I saw a comment that says Bolt got to his best in 2009 and did not get there after. Now, I would advise persons watch the I Am Bolt documentary. Now, he will tell you that there are only 2 years in his sprinting career that he wasn't injured, and those are the 2 years that he broke the records. He wasn't injured in 08 and in 09, and those are the years that he broke the records. Now, that is why I'm going back to what Coach say about here and now. Yeah. Nobody knows what will happen next season.
Right.
So if you are in the shape of your life now, do it now. And that is one criticism I had of Stephen Francis, and I will never ever get over it. When Asafa ran that 9.72 and Stephen Francis tell him to run 80 and walk across the line, and him break the record and run the 9.7, he could have gone much faster. If you're at your best now, run your best, because you don't know what tomorrow might bring. Last season, Elaine Thompson was on top of the world. This season, she's struggling to run sub 22. Nobody knows what will happen next season. So it's right now in tracks.
And you see the next thing too. I see RDD talking about, we're stopping at about Bolt 400. You know how much years Bolt the 400 meter bridging? Man go through the training. You understand about nonsense? That is background, brother.
Him knows that Bolt did have the 400 record of champs.
Oh.
A high school, Jamaican high school champs. Him know that? Like Bolt could have ran a leg on the 4x4 team if he wanted to.
But he said that Bolt didn't do it at the senior. But what was he preparing for at the senior level? At 400, the man started training for, you know, until he reached over Glen Mills, you know.
And yes. He started doing the 200, and when him at the World Championships, so him never win. Him come second, and they decided to add the 100 meter to it, and then he broke the 100 and 200 record in 08. So RDD do some research on Bolt, yeah? And RDD, if you cannot find the research on Bolt, Shericka Jackson is the perfect example right now.
Hey, I got to.
But he come back and say he did run 400 at Olympics or World Championship. Where am I say?
Where did Shakari? Where did Shakari get into all this? Why are you talking about Shakari? What Shakari got to do with any of this?
Shakari is running a race, I think, in September, and I think September 12, Shakari running against.
She is at the Brussels meet.
Is it 12? Yeah. I'm not 12.
At 12 September, how much? She run against the big three.
I just realized y'all both like to talk about Usain Bolt a lot, but I don't think we should be talking about Usain Bolt comparing him to regular track athletes. I don't think that's a fair comparison. That's like me comparing like LeBron James or Michael Jordan statistics to a new guy from, I don't know, Duke, you know, in basketball. I don't think we should be comparing him to Noah Lyles, quite frankly.
Okay, I agree with you, but tell that to RDD. He's the one making the comparison. We're just putting it out there that Bolt cannot be compared to anybody.
Where's RDD at? RD don't even have a profile picture. We don't.
Yeah, he's the one trying to compare Bolt to Noah Lyles, and
Yeah,
Bolt is a one of a kind athlete. Bolt did not even touch 80% of his potential.
yeah. Let's not. Yeah, RDD. Don't. Let's not do that. You can't compare like the greatest track runner of all time to a regular track runner. That's not really a comparison.
Man called Lyles a regular track runner.
Compared to Usain Bolt, yeah.
Hey man, they kick you out of America, you know, boss. Man, they kick you. Man, calling the American who break Michael Johnson's national record a regular track. Be careful.
I mean, we do the same thing around here. Like when it comes to basketball and football, like Russell Westbrook, to us, he's just above average player, but he's nowhere like LeBron. You know, we do the same thing for everybody. You might hear his name a lot, but for people that actually like watch them compared to other people, they're not the same. Not the same. I just realized y'all both wear Puma. That's just like a little side. I just noticed y'all wear Puma.
Oh, and that's how you cover up your own.
And this is my swag though.
You see? And them thing there, Fabian.
Yeah, man.
When people say we are aware of Adidas or a Puma or Nike, them start align with a certain camp, you know.
Yeah.
So you see everything tracker started out.
Nah, because I just found it funny because people don't wear Puma. So I see y'all wearing Puma. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Why say people in America don't wear Puma?
No. I can't think of a person.
So who is Abby Steiner?
Arguably the girl who has the best chance
I'm
of
talking regular clothes. Like as clothes, I haven't seen nobody wear Puma except for like track athletes that got signed. But like just walking the street, you won't see nobody wear Puma. It's not big here. Which actually kind of surprised me that Abby Steiner signed to Puma.
Puma taking over the world, man.
I guess so. They got the Nike then. No, but I think Area 90 has a better chance than Noah Lyles does. Me personally.
11-6 PB.
Let us move on from this conversation now, because in terms of Noah Lyles, let me give my view on the Noah Lyles situation. I have not done so. I believe that Usain Bolt's record is a record that can be broken, as any record is. But analyzing Noah Lyles' race, given that he has about 21 days to go, because and even though it's a one-off race, when I look at Eugene, he did 2 rounds, right, before running that 19:31. When you look at Usain Bolt's record, he always run a few rounds before he goes into the 300, 5 rounds to be exact. So for me, any record can be broken. However, I believe that based on how I see Noah Lyles running, he has some stuff to work on before he can break the record. And if it is a case where he gets nice little wind assistant and the conditions right, it is possible. But he has to fix some things before it happens. And for this season, the 21 days, I don't think it'll happen. That's my take on the situation. Let me check out the comment section. I see a super chat there from Didi. Gunner's boss say, real talk though, Americans don't wear Puma. No, yeah, we know that. It's a straight Nike country. Everything Nike. All Jordans, everything Nike. Same flame, so because America now have style and flavor, them have swag. I hear you. Big up Fabian and Richport Sports. Where's Richport? Richport there?
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
When you gonna help me run the 100? When you gonna help me run the 100?
When am I going to run you the 100?
I'll pay you.
You pay me to win you?
Nah, to train me. Give me online training.
Let us talk about that off the air everything, Chuck.
Right.
I don't want brain drain here.
Can't let out the secret them, coach. Can't let out the secret them.
Everything, Chuck. Different still, you know. I see I running on. Boy, I tell you, you have a lot of work to do, man.
I got a lot. Yeah, right. I'm a big dude though, so
that is the first thing. You need to lose some weight, man.
Yeah, I'm a big I can't help it though. I can't help that. I naturally gain weight working out.
So that's going to be a problem for you then. So then the fast food and all of those unhealthy stuff that you eat, you probably need to stop that to begin with. If you need, because we don't play certain things.
Coach, he have good enough foot speed to take up a discuss, you know.
So I don't know if it's the
he has good enough foot speed to take up a discus since he's big.
Yeah, or the javelin.
Take up the discus or the javelin.
Yeah, shot put, any other throwing events.
Yeah, it ain't the food. I eat apples and my grapes and bananas and stuff. It ain't rice.
First of all, everything, Chuck. First of all, the fruit here in America is not fruit.
Hey, baby, and I body's thing.
No, like
Check this
boy,
out.
always hear me at talk, coach. I struggle on a weekly basis. Alright, you see, when I was in Jamaica, me eat fruits every day. You see, since me come America, me struggle to find real fruit. Like, them not have no real fruits here. No, not at all. Me struggle. The other day, me go to Jamaica and me load up my suitcase up. Yo, me have about 3 dozen East Indian hiding in every part of my suitcase, you know. And them select me to the random spot search at airport, bro. Man, take away every one of my manga there.
Yeah, we cut up that man and
after me, I try to sneak. No, me have some cut up, you know. But me I say, yo, me have some nice turn one, you know, me I sneak them in. Take every one of them beds.
You can't, man.
You know what's funny? People think it's the food, right? This one from the message y'all heads. People think it's the food. Sometimes it is the food. Like we have a couple of Jamaican restaurants out here. They're kind of big too. Jamaican, like they're I think they're from Kingston. I can't remember, but I go there a couple of times. Like my girl likes to eat there, and they're kind of big too. It's not the fact of the food; it's the fact that here everybody travels like in cars and buses and trains. A lot of people like to sit down. A lot of people like to lay in bed after they come back from work for 10 hours. So it's not necessarily the food. It's just that people don't do anything here. Like you might see people at the gym.
No, but everything, Chuck. Nutrition contribute more to your weight than your exercise, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to finish up on that. A lot of people here goes to the gym, so they get big, but we just don't have skinny people because they're not running as well. A lot of people aren't doing cardio here. So you have people that go to the gym and you see all of us, you're like, oh yeah, people always say Americans are big, strong, they're rough and aggressive, but you don't find a lot of skinny Americans here because they're not doing cardio. So it's not the food, it's just the fact that people aren't running, people aren't walking everywhere. That's really what's down to it. Because when I go to drill and go to AT and we're walking in the woods for 2 weeks straight, I literally lose 14 pounds, but yet I'm same food. Like I go to DX and I get Papa John and stuff, but I lose 14 pounds in 2 weeks. And how does that happen? It's because I'm walking everywhere. So it's not really the food, not to an extent.
Hey, who have the real fruits in Florida? Send it, come give me now. Make a link. Send me a message.
Everything
And send some real fruits.
people they want to know which state they come from. Which state you are now?
Mississippi. But I've been in Virginia, North Carolina, Massachusetts, but I'm Mississippi right now.
Okay. All right. Fabian, Rich posted something a while ago about the Lyles. Let me see if I can bring up back there. I think he never come talk about break up folly ground, you know, when he come on and get that leather belt, you know.
Me sorry, Phil. Me can tell everything. Chat. I can tell you why American athletes struggle. I'm gonna tell you in a bit.
Struggle.
Just remind me. Overall,
Let me read this comment before.
How you struggle?
Hold on, everything, chat.
Well on everything, chat.
Saying me there, the US, the US us gent would be best suited by apologizing for undermining Lyles' talent. Has he retracted such? Yeah, hey, remember, you know, this is the same man who disrespect Bolt, and the man asks him who is Bolt, you know. But yet still him saying he want to break Bolt record. But him are going like him don't know Bolt. Oh, there's a lull. Everything quiet.
What's he talking about?
No, you remember the reporter asked about Usain Bolt. And Lyles was like, who is that?
Bolt who?
Bolt who? Disrespect him, disrespect the legend, you know.
That's not disrespect. That's stupidity.
That's what?
It's stupidity.
Yeah, but him still a disrespect the legend. Like him don't know the legend. But fast forward to now, he must say more and break him record. So who is Bolt? Bolt who? Record who?
Hey, when did Bolt retire? How old was he?
About 30.
30.
All right. I mean, we have, you know, I mean, he has the freedom of speech to say Bolt who, you know. I mean, I get what he's saying, you know. If you're not taking it to heart, you know, what he's basically saying is like he's not worried about Bolt's record. That's what I would assume at this point.
No, he's disrespecting the greatest to ever do it. That is like a Westbrook saying Michael Jordan who. You don't do that. You cannot do that. And I'm sure that at the World Championships he realized that 1919 is no joke, because he said that he tried to break the world record. He really tried to break it. He went after it.
But Gunner's boss is saying Bolt who, meaning it's his time now and not Bolt's. Yeah. But it came across in a manner that he wasn't paying homage to the legend. Same like they asked Shelly-Ann a question today or yesterday on her story Instagram thing about Flo Joe, and she said, why you not dig her up and ask her the question? Person state that she's been disrespectful to the world record holder. So why when Noah do that to Bolt, it is being seen as him saying something different. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, I see what y'all saying, but I don't really think it's too big of a deal.
All right. So
I think it's just friendly competition talk.
Yeah, and Americans filled with trash talk, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what we do.
No, that is okay. Let us find that approach. That is the thing that is what messed up Shakari. Now in America is a country that is, they're big on bullying and talking the talk and trash talk, and they will use their mouth to push you down and intimidate you. What Shakari don't understand is that us Jamaicans, we're not afraid of people mouth. We are about that life. So when you run your mouth at the Jamaicans, you better come to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. With Americans, you can talk the talk and the Americans get scared and back off, and that don't work with Jamaicans. You talk the talk, you better prepare to walk the walk. So her saying, oh, even her coach saying, oh, she running 10-3 in training and whatever, that's just motivating the Jamaicans to go faster. We're not going to say, oh, Shakari is running 10-3 in training, we can't beat her. They are going to say, come on, run a 10-3 and beat me if you can. So that's one thing with Americans. And everything Chuck can either dispute that or can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. It's y'all's time. But that's it.
It's our time?
Yeah. Of course it's not our time. But what I'm saying, everything, Chap, him still have to pay homage because there was no time Usain Bolt disrespect Michael Johnson. Those and those who had the record before.
We don't know what he did behind closed doors.
But
it doesn't matter. But saying it on a platform.
We have no control over what he does behind closed door. We have to talk about what he does in public, Bridget. Remember, we now got Bolt here, go watch what he do and what he say and we talk about. That's not our concern.
To be fair, when Bolt was running, we also didn't have like all these phones and all these podcasts and stuff going on as well. Because when Bolt was running, I was a little kid. Like we didn't like now, you know, it's different. We got Instagram Live, TikTok now. It's more easier for whatever you say now to be more publicized. So Bolt,
I'm sure. Yeah, but if Bolt had said something like that, I'm sure Bolt is the biggest athlete on the planet. If Bolt had said something like that, we would have heard about it.
And I can guarantee him to all the press. Every person that beat him.
Bolt is an athlete that if Bolt goes to Antarctica right now, everybody knows him.
So let me ask you something. Why can't Shakari say something? Isn't she the 7th fastest woman in the world?
Of course she can say it. Well, it is fun. Well, it is fun to me when she say it because we know the trash talk not going anywhere. The trash talk is going to be on the track. She's gonna get trashed.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price gonna get her back blown by Shakari.
Yeah, we not have no problem. Make it happen.
Shakari Richardson.
When? Nobody now blow out, man.
I think they race September 6th.
So you think? Wait. You really think everything, Chuck, that a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, that this season, if Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price has run 8 races this season, she ran 10-6 in 7 of them. You really think that a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price that can get out of bed, go on the track and run 10-6 will be beaten by a Shakari whose PB is 10-7?
No, must be you don't say it properly, Fabian. He said that Shakari will be blowing Shelly-Ann Fraser back out.
You must be crazy.
Wake up, everything, Chuck.
Hey, y'all wake up because let me ask you this: who ran a fast time at the age of 21?
Oh, come on!
It doesn't matter. Does it matter?
All right, then.
All right, she's 21 and can't run 10-6-2, 10-6-0.
Well, we comparing somebody that has a 14-year age gap though. Like when you talking.
No, you can't say that everything, Chuck. You don't know. You don't know what will happen next year or the year after that. Shakari has been saying she will win for the past 2 years, and the only thing she win is running her mouth.
She's still running 10.85 this season. That would have
Put this into perspective.
She would have placed. Think about that.
We're
10.85.
Y'all better stay. Yeah. That would have been third or second.
Third. That wouldn't be in the medal, and the medal count. 10.81 was the lock off.
10.85 wouldn't give her a medal.
Yeah, it would.
Nope.
It would have.
All right, hold on. We'll go for evidence, you know. Hold on.
Make we check. Because how much Shericka did run? 10.7, and Dina ran what?
10. A fourth Dina coming out. Dina run
Uh,
a recording and come
Dina
fourth.
come fourth, right? Hold on, sorry, let me double check
Bridget, me not
because
going to look up that because that's stuck in my head, Bridget. Me not going to look up that.
you go double check it.
You can double check it.
Yeah, let me go double check it.
Virgin, 8-1 was third. 8-2, I think. Dina run and come forth and crying up.
I remember Dina crying.
It is 8-4. So 8-5 wouldn't be in the medal everything track.
He gonna check on him phone.
Make him go check, man.
It ain't one.
I can't show on. We don't wanna check. I'm sure no 8-5 cannot come in the medal at this year's World Championship.
I guess it was something else. I was probably looking at Commonwealth games. I know I was looking at something when I made my video.
No, the Commonwealth games at 10-8-5 would make her win because Ilian ran 10-9-5-1. So
5 was the win.
So she would have won Commonwealth games.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this. I'm rooting
so
for.
You're wrong, dear Sabas.
I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her next year.
You're rooting for her next year, okay.
That's all. That's really all we have. I mean, Abby Steiner's not a good 100-meter runner. I mean, she's decent, but she's not. She's better than 200.
Well, everything, chap. Shakari, if she was this great as you professing her to be, why didn't she qualify for the world champion? Hey, she put up a poster last year, Olympic, you know. The people enjoying a world championship, you know. And she didn't even qualify, Virgin.
Usain Bolt didn't qualify every year either.
Huh?
Didn't he
which year did he qualify? Tell me which year did he qualify?
I saw. Didn't he when he fell or pulled a hamstring or something like that?
No. There was only 1 year that he did not. He submitted as medical exemption because he felt a tight hamstring. That was the same year that one Justin Gatlin run off him mouth and say, "Oh, in America I wouldn't be allowed to run and I'm going to beat him and I'm going to this." And Bolt having a hamstring injury some weeks before the games and still go to the games and beat everybody.
No, but look like everything trying to understand it, you know. Look like him mentioned the last race where Bolt pull him hamstring. You can't use that everything chat because he was at the competition. So you can't say no qualify.
Yeah, but it was in the relay that him pull him hamstring.
Yeah, so he was at the event, you know. So if you're talking about qualification, you'd have to go through his national trials. And since Bolt come on the scene 2007, he went to world 2008. From then 2007, him not something there. Him not miss that.
Well, that's not over still, but me not count that.
Hey,
but,
I'm about to see y'all later. I'm gonna have to go actually.
All right, cool.
All right, see y'all later. I make sure y'all subscribe to Coach's Desk.
All right, big
up yourself, everything chat.
Everything chat. Now understand the whole happenings and runnings of the track and field.
I think that is the problem with a lot of Americans. They don't really pay attention to track and field. Another problem with them is if you right now, coach, and everybody listening and those who are in America, test out my theory. If you have access to an elementary school, walk into any elementary school and just put on 2 cones, put them like 80 meters apart or 100 meters apart, and say, let's have a pop-up sports day. See how many of those kids can actually run. And I don't mean run fast. Can actually run without tripping. Can actually move their right foot and then left foot and then right and actually look like they are running. They don't pay attention to these things until they get to middle school. So they're already behind the ball. And sprinting take whole heap of coordination. So it's only the really exceptional ones when they start paying attention in middle school that excel. And then to prove my theory, going to any Jamaican primaries, as a matter of fact, going to any Jamaican basic school and do the same thing and you will see the difference. That is the big difference between Jamaica and America right now in tracks. Richard, big up Richard.
Yeah, man, Rich Post Sports, big up yourself. Welcome.
Good night, Fabian. Good night, coaches. Good night, viewers and subscribers. A pleasure to be here. I see everything track has galloped away. I hope it's nothing to do with the reason boss entering the arena.
Hold on there. Me not understand brain drain. Why we talk to RDD there so because me not understand some of them argument them. Nobody has been saying that Jamaica has been dominating track for over 100 years. Nobody said that. Come on, man. Come like you say you're the doctor, man. You have to reason properly or understand what the man has said.
Is he the doctor
RDD.
or is he doctor?
RDD. I'm not saying Jamaica is dominating track and field for 100 years. Dispute exactly what I said. Tell me that if you do what I said to do, you're not going to see the results. Tell me that. Just walk into an elementary school and do what myself do and tell me if you don't see the results. That is what I wanted to dispute.
Yes, Rich Pool.
Rich Poe Sports here. Brain Drain is talking about stir fry. I don't know what he's referring to this, but listen, I am here to wait. A Prince that?
No, I'm a Prince. I kill this one.
Akil, the face look familiar. The smile is familiar. It's similar to Prince. Good night, Akil.
Good night. I'm here to take my beating. I predicted sometimes. It never came through. I predicted sometimes and they didn't came through. So yeah, I'll take my beating.
You and your bag of times, infamous.
No, we kind of didn't know if you did drink something when they mentioned in time just still. So we never really, we don't even under the influence.
No, that's why you run the races.
Prediction.
So Rich Pro, where you say you come and break up now?
Well, directly, CD, you, I must say, brought out your diplomatic 2022/23 card and used it wisely because the gentleman was suggesting, and I heard him quote unquote describe Noah Lyles as ordinary.
Hold on,
I want it. Wait, who have some additional something going on this audio? Hold tight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Noah Lyles is not an everyday athlete, a regular athlete. That was the main point I really wanted to just take up with him. Noah Lyles is a massive talent, as I said. He's a phenomenal athlete, one of the fastest ever over 200 meters. He's got room for improvement. He's got a lot of swag and confidence. And I tell you, to even think about chasing a record such as Usain Bolt's 19.19 second run, you need to have something about you. That was the main point I was making, and I was waiting for your good self or Fabian to just set him right. And that was my main point, blocking up the folly ground. Even if he's talking about Usain Bolt, who's Bolt. We all know who Bolt is. He knows who Bolt is, but that, in my opinion, is part of his character, part of his personality. We don't all warm to him, just as we don't all warm to other athletes. I don't overly warm to Noah Lyles in some of the things that he says. Post races, what I that question or hesitation is the man's ability. I take emotion out of the equation, and in terms of the man's ability, he is one of the all-time great 200-meter runners, and he's got room to improve. He's also one who raises his game and can face challenges such as Arian Knighton, Bednarek, and the rest of the outstanding 200-meter runners that he's had to go up against. And I salute his ability. He is the only one at the moment, I think, apart from Knighton, who's got room to improve, of course, because he's so young, who could possibly challenge Bolt's 19.19 second 200-meter record run. But simply to say Noah Lyles is an average runner, no, you can't have that. You couldn't sit down and you came up with your statement saying that all records can be broken, including Usain Bolt's. But he may not do it this season, if at all. But fair is fair. That's all I'm saying. Fair is fair. Would you agree?
Oh, I didn't hear him say that.
I heard him. That's when I had to pipe up. He was saying that he's just a runner, and I think he might have been swayed by the fact that Lyles may have been a little bit condescending towards Bolt. I don't know. I wanted to hear his opinion and his take, and if he was willing to retract his comments. Everything track would suggest that you know and appreciate a world about track and field. Noah Lyles is a leading figure.
Everything track. No, look, I can understand everything about track. But Akil, big up yourself and welcome. What say you?
Good night. I agree. I think Noah is a special talent. Actually, he's one of my favorite American athletes. I still don't see him breaking Usain's world record, at least for this season. But track and field stay. It can be proven wrong. Why I say that though is because when Johan run 19.2, like he was a 9.7 athlete transitioning to 9.6. The thing with Noah is that, like, I think Noah at best is 9.8, and this season has been like running 10 seconds and so forth over the 100. Well, my thing is that yes, 19.31 was very impressive, and maybe can probably go 9.2, but the same I'll go 9.19 or 9.18. I'm not so sure.
I mean that's not pushing the boat out there. With all due respect, Axe, it's a phenomenal record. What he's done is broken one of the generation's greatest talents, the U.S. record holder or former record holder, Michael Johnson's 200-meter record. He's one of the best ever to do it. The fact that he's run faster than Michael Johnson is sensational in itself. And listen, we're talking about a rarity in terms of a talent. And Noah Lyles is a phenomenal talent. That's what we're saying. We know Usain Bolt is the greatest to do it in terms of sprinting. He hit the 19.2s. I love his capacity to actually race against opposition as well, though. He's got live opposition, and he's been challenged to defeat these opponents, such as Knighton and Bednarek, and Andre DeGrassi will come at him. And I think that brings out the best in Noah Lyles. So I'm licking my lips in anticipation of the World Championships next year, and of course, with Paris to come. What say you?
All right. Everything track says not retracting. You have greats, you have Hall of Fame. All right, so let that stay there. But Mr. RDD is saying that Jamaicans were no way in the conversation before 2004.
I disagree.
In both men and women, but USA was what? It's something that was right properly. But USA was because full stop was there. But USA was get the history right, man. 2004, so 2004 Jamaica start be renowned where track and field is concerned.
I disagree with that.
1976, 1983, 1948, and we could go on and on and on and on. So I don't know. I don't know if my memory is clouded by.
Coach, you see, can I just say something to RDD? RDD, you see, when you Americans try to make Jamaica look bad, this is how I normally. I'm assuming that he's American. This is how I normally respond. Jamaica has a population of 2.9 million, 3 million at best. Chicago has a population of about 7 million. LA has a population of 3.9 million. There is no way on God's earth Jamaica should be anywhere close to competing with America in anything at all. So when you're going to say, oh, Jamaica, this you're trying to compare America and Jamaica, that shouldn't happen.
So it's like comparing Usain Bolt with Noah Lyles.
It's like comparing Bolt and Lyles. It can't, it's not supposed to happen. One city in America has more people than the entire country of Jamaica. And you are so proud to be comparing America to Jamaica? Come on, man.
But it's not even that. But when you think about the whole like how significant the Olympics was.
Hold on this. Sorry, hold your point, Akil. Because I get camera get some problem, but hold your point. RDD, you did not say dominate. You said Jamaicans were nowhere in the conversation. This thing is recorded in the budget. Don't try slide away. Boy, you never said you said dominate. You never
put it on the screen, coach. It's right above everything track comment. The one we have on the screen now.
See
put it on the screen.
Read it. Evidence is here. Boy, you never said dominate. Don't play with me, the youth. We investigate cases, enough. Oh, don't play. Go ahead, Akil.
As I was saying, it's just a history of track and field and how in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, track and field, especially during Olympic time, like it was heavily tied to the world powers, like governments really invested a lot into track and field. And I think at that time, track and it would have been very hard for Jamaica to even be dominating when you have the East Germans and the Russians and Soviet Union, and you have the Americans putting their resources into ensuring that come Olympics time their athletes are on top. So I actually agree with what Fabian said about there shouldn't even be a comparison to begin with. So the fact that we right now are at a place where we can say, even have a conversation about Jamaica being dominant in the sprints, I think it's a great feat, and it's not something that we take for granted. But I think sometimes the Americans who I interact with tend to be a little bit bitter about it.
The man said he's a Jamaican born in Barbados. So at the world under 20 medal all I mash up the whole conversation. But anyways, RDD, as Fabian said, it's quite a shame for there to be some sort of comparison with the mighty United States, and I'm not gonna say lowly, the tiny Jamaica. All right, let's proceed because we only have a few minutes. Well, we have quite a few minutes to go. So we spoke about Shelly getting that elusive 10, 5. Spoke about Noah Lyles trying to get Bo's record, and he's very vocal about it. I think that brings a little fun to the sport too. Get the seriousness of some people's face, but it gets conversation kind of heated as well. You know what I mean? Because when the fans really start to talk, you know, them can get, hey, sports are the only thing. Well, not the only thing. Sports can really get you out of character sometimes, you know. When it comes on to discussion, you know. You hear some people talk loud when you thought they were just nonchalant and all of these things. But so we have completed those conversations. It's a possibility, Richard and Akil, that another junior will be signing and going pro. What are your thoughts about this pro thing with the youngsters? Is it the right move at this particular time in their career when they are running fast?
Well, CD, I must say, I've been blown away and so proud and impressed with the factory load of talent coming out of Jamaica. Watching the under-20s in Cali, Colombia, the bag of medals, that medal haul was outstanding. The talent on show, outstanding. When we zoom in on the likes of Brianna Liston, the Clayton twins, Hill, Cole, phenomenal talent. What I wanted to find out from your good self, Fabian and CD, Akil, you may know something as well. Is there a history of young stellar talent at these relatively tender ages turning professional, or is it a case of certain powers pushing in this modern generation these Jamaican athletes into professional sport because it looks good for Jamaica, whether economically or socially or otherwise? Or is this an unusual move? Is it the done thing and always been the case, and you've got the option? Because these young athletes, they've got the ability, and if they keep on growing, and if they can study and train and still love their athletics, why can they not go on to produce and have wonderful careers doing well for themselves and their families?
I believe that there's a paradigm shift in terms of what is transpiring in Jamaica at this time. You know, there's a time and season for everything, and it seems as if it is the season for the youngsters to really make that decision to propel themselves and their track career forward. Many things have been said about the whole migrating to United States on track scholarships. Many are saying that MVP racers losing the monopoly. Also, if everybody goes over to elite track, then the thing might become quenched. You know what I mean? So
Saturated.
yes. You know, they mix quenched and, you know, to a long, basically. And so on that premise, I think the whether they're going overseas or staying in Jamaica, I think it argues well for them to make decisions like these. And like I said, many persons probably don't understand the intricacies of their deal and think some of them are foregoing school and just doing straight track and field, which I believe it is not so. I think there has to be some aspect of the contract without seeing it, knowing their age, that the powers, whoever the negotiating officers are or the team, they should be able to put that clause in it that they should go to school. So I believe that schooling is a part of it. So I have no problem with this new paradigm shift that is taking place, where the youngsters are, because if you run fast now, there's not a guarantee, like I said earlier with the area 9 thing, it's not a guarantee that 5 years down the line he's going to be running fast again, Hence the reason you have to make use of the opportunity when it comes. You know what I mean? So I believe that is where my argument that is concerned. So
just to add to that, I was watching Shakari's status the other day, and there was somebody who said something to her, and she responded. I think somebody said to her that she's only good for running her mouth and all of that, and not yet won anything on the global stage, but she's running her mouth. And her response to it was that I am taking care of my family. That is my ultimate goal. So I'm just saying that to say this, that some of these athletes, maybe they don't want to win an Olympic title or a World Champs title because this is a job. We go to school to get an education, to get a job. All right? No, this is their job. The job is supposed to feed their families. So them making a move to provide for their families, maybe they don't even want to go to Olympics or go to World Champ. They just want to make money to take care of their families. And I think that is that was Shakari's whole aim. And she said she's content with doing that. When she's doing that, she's okay. And that made me look and think about a lot of things in track and field.
That in itself is true, Fabian. But the flip side of that is, with these shoe companies, they don't play when it comes on to throwing you away or throwing you by the wayside. Because in those contracts, you have to also be able to perform. So you get a 5-year deal, you get 5 years of money. If you don't invest properly, or if your team around you not managing the finances, then there might be issue. And then a situation where the phone will distract me. But I soon answer the phone, I don't want to lose my thought. The situation is that if you don't perform, coming up to the end of the contract, you will have no negotiating power because you did not perform throughout that period. So the flip side of that, they have to work, yes, but at the same time, you're feeding your family. Yes, that is good and it's all dandy. But you have to ensure that you are performing, because your performance, it's like a sales job. Your performance is hinged on how well you do in the market space.
And my argument is that I actually think that the right time is now. I think the right time is now, and reason being is that when it comes down to track and field, you're not guaranteed. It's not a guarantee that you're gonna have a next successful season. So you take the opportunity when it's presented in front of you. And then I think a lot of persons, we still have to remember they are 17, 18-year-olds. Even though track and field, I'm not even say that, not to say even though, like we're seeing that the like there is a shift in track and field. There's a shift in track and field where persons are able to extend their careers longer than 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. So even if it's a case where they don't, they probably have a injury that sets them back 2 years, 3 years. God forbid. But these things happen in track and field. They're still young enough to still be competitive at, let's say, age 25, 26, 27, which is still reasonable years. Look at Jahil Hyde. Jahil Hyde has had his setbacks, and now he's competing at a level, that it's touching world class, right? And I think he's about 20. He's 25, but he signed his contract when he was young. So I think that's what happens when you sign a contract when you're young. You have that opportunity, even if things don't go as how you want it to go. You still have that age. You still have the age on your side. And I think that's what I'm very mindful of when it comes down to these athletes. I think we really have to be patient with our juniors, because the truth is the juniors are gonna have to work really hard to make our senior team. It's not, our senior team is no joke. You probably have to be thinking 10-7, possibly 10-6 to make our team. And you probably have to think 10-8, 10-9 low to make our relay pool. So I think they have a lot of work to do. And concerning the shoe contracts, there's a particular brand that I don't like, and based on my limited understanding of track and field, not all shoe companies operate the way like that shoe company. So there are some shoe companies who actually are lenient, but the coach said, the negotiating power probably diminish as a result of the lack of performance or so forth. So I think I think this is the right time for them to really take the contract. I think these crop of juniors, I think personally, are our most talented crop. Like they're generational talents, and I think that they would have seen the mistakes that would have made from previous generation where they got the early contracts and they didn't perform up to standard. And I think they're going to use that as a stepping stone, not to ensure that doesn't happen to them. So I think they made the right decision.
All right, before Richard answers, we answer the question. We have a caller online. Caller, welcome to the show. Is this sound like Gunner's boss? Go ahead. We there here, man. We know this sound like you, man. Yeah, man. Fabian still the board. We're here clearly,
Okay, all right. Now, here is now, Fabian. I don't. Fabian still there by the line, coach.
Yeah, man. He might hear you.
All right, Fabian, here it is. I don't know why you come down about my son them already, My sons are ready, man. When it comes to that ready to do it, over talking, Jamaican talk a lot. They don't fight a lot. American is ready. The American boys are ready to fight from the jump. Just get that in your head. Don't disrespect them when it comes to that. You get that? No disrespect to the Jamaican brother, but we ain't ready for the fight. When it comes to the physical, this fight that get ready to go, we talk a lot, but we ain't ready for all that jump. No. The NIL thing now. A man said something in the chat after me, I make him understand. I was saying Jamaicans and most foreign athletes, I don't know from which countries, but most Jamaicans, they cannot get no NIL, them can get some little things on the team. You have to have a work permit and the NIL thing where you have to sign contract. When you come here, go to America, as a foreign exchange athlete, if you don't have a work permit, how you going to collect this money, your taxes and all those things in fact. So I was listening to a podcast there, and it was the same thing that's being discussed on this podcast from some highly qualified journalists come saying it is not fair for the Americans at their best can get NIL deal and get these money, and the foreign student them and scholarship cannot get to see it. That's what I was saying. So if there is proof that Jamaicans can go to America on a college scholarship and get some of those NIL deal, where one can go sign a contract with a car dealership around the street with $1 million, let me know.
Fabian, you answer that?
So, but with that said, what I was saying with that now is, it is so big, and with all the hardship out of Jamaica, if it a step a easy, you want to go through and get the money from now. Go and get it, because like I hear Coach said, and another line earlier, that these kind of sports, especially track and field, they can be very ungrateful. So if you prime now and you feel you see your chances to go and get that money now, go and get it. Don't wait till later and talk about your back college and run 4 years and do all these things and only represent the Olympics and don't get no money. Go get that money now. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Gunners boss. Big up yourself. Solid points as usual. All right, Rich Poe, your time for answer. What do you think about the plethora of youngsters being targeted by the shoe companies? I want them to target me too.
We'll make sure boom.
Wait, but Missy, you have the Puma tracksuit on. You have the Puma tracksuit on. You was asking, angling if I look at something from them. If I look a while now. What go on? What's the latest? Them answer your call. All right. Wonderful. Regarding the young Jamaicans, listen, talent is a terrible thing to waste. I'm looking in the comment section and there's a few people who have subscribed to the viewpoint that, look, if they've got the talent, and they will have a great career, come hell or high water. Once they're fit, they will shine on the world international stage. But if you're talented and you've got the ability, you've got the hunger, strike while the iron is hot. And if they and Jamaica with the hunger, the coaching facilities and abilities, I think that these athletes can go far. I mean, I'm in England, and these talented athletes, I tell you, they would be snapped up. I mean, what they would give for talent such as Cole, Hill, Brianna, outstanding. And we saw that triple jumper. Was his name Hibbert? 17 meters, 26. The man, a youngster. Outstanding talent. So if they're matured, if they're groomed and treated right, well managed, education is absolutely important, and that can be going side by side and can be continued in years to come. If they can do it side by side with training, I think that's the ideal marriage. But listen, Jamaica, with this talent, trust me, it's outstanding, and I can see why they want to maximize. I can see why companies are attached to them, and I can see why they would make the decision. I'm sure they've taken counsel on it, but Jamaica, small but Talawa, the talent, the factory, oh my goodness me, absolutely outstanding. Trust me, as I said, some of these talents, they would be snapped up and the light would be shone on them big time if they were representing Team GB. Trust me on that. These runners running Tina, 10.95 in a final. We've got seasoned British athletes like Daryl Nita, who's coming into a pump, running as fast as she's ever run. A seasoned campaigner. Come a final, she's not running those kind of times. She's running 10.95s in semifinals, reaching a final, and not producing the faster times. Tina is doing it the other way around. She's doing it the way champions do it. Produce their best in the heat of heat, in the hottest of battles. These are great talents. Let them shine. let them get the contract, let them be financially rewarded for their outstanding talent. And you know what? We don't want Jamaica to be selling themselves short. We don't want Jamaicans to be selling themselves and their talent short. And I think that Jamaica, uh, we've already alluded to the Reggae Boyz and how they weren't maximizing their potential for various reasons. Jamaica has wonderful athletes who can mix it with the very best in the world. And as you said, going toe to toe with the United States of America in the sprinting department, that's ridiculous. And to Jamaicans, you don't even bat an eyelid. We don't bat an eyelid. We say, bring it. Bring it. You have to beat us. Back to Cali in Colombia. That under 20s. Let me tell you something. Ethiopia, Jamaica, America. You could say in that order. Outstanding ability. Go ahead, I say. Go ahead. That's what I say. Go for it. With good counsel.
I think my only worry though, and it is a worry, is just how saturated the women's sprints are. The 100 and the 200. Um, I think, even when I think about like Olympic trials come Paris, because you're giving the youngsters time to matriculate. When you think about Olympic trials in Paris, it is going to be intense. Like there are going to be persons who are going to run some really fast times and not make the team. And as I said before, even though we talk about Tina and Tia and Brianna Liston and Serena Cole, we also have to take into consideration that we still have Kevona, and Kevona has not reached her. In my opinion, she has not reached her full potential yet. I think that Kevona at her full potential can rub shoulder to shoulder with Julian Lawrence. And
Kevona Davis is that
Kevona Davis. Yeah, man, Kevona Davis.
That's very interesting. That's interesting.
From St. Lucia. Alfred, sorry, my bad. Sorry. I don't know why I always mix up Lawrence and Alfred.
Silver medalist, Commonwealth Games 100.
Yeah, man, I think Kevona at her best can rub shoulder to shoulder with Alfred, because I remember watching that Texas meet at Texas Tech, and I remember watching that race where Kevona ran the win 8 10-8, and Alfred just beat her. That's the time when Alfred ran the win 8 10-7, and even though and that was the best start I saw Kevona get in her entire career. That race. And I think that, once she improves at that start and that form, I'm telling you, she's going to be crazy. But I'm just saying, I'm just using her to make the point. Yes.
I was going to say just briefly. Could you tell me, because this season gone leading up to the and something just gave me the impression that she either missed the boat or she'd had some injury concerns or something, but she was known, from my understanding, as being a tremendous talent, but she just didn't seem to have built upon that early expectations. Is there any particular reason for that? Because when you compare it to the Brianna Listons and the Clayton and Cole and Hills, I see that these young ladies, coached and supported in the right way, they can produce and compete, and they could do well on the likes of the Diamond League, because we've got Natoya White, and who else we got? Natasha Morrison. Weird, somebody have pattern on me.
It's alright, my bad. I was washing plate behind the scenes. I apologize.
Behind the scenes, you wash. You have.
No, not me.
A dishwasher or somebody deal with it for you?
No. So it's a relative. Dishwashing.
Everything blessed. Good evening, relative.
I want to make the point before Akil answer the question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Even though with the plethora of talents that the females would have to go up against, there's a thing where you have some people will pass some athletes. So you might make mention of some persons who would possibly have been there before, but you have this young talent will just come and just zoom past them. So you have those exceptional cases that will occur throughout the number of talents that we have in on the women's side.
Agreed. But regarding Kevona, based on what I've seen, basically like from updates and so forth, she has been doing really good. She has been doing very well. In her first year as a freshman, she placed she made it to the 200-meter final. She made it in the 200-meter final, and she was the highest placed Texas athlete. When she at Texas, she is competing against the likes of Kennedy Finnell and Julian Alfred, and you know, based on what I understand, the collegiate system is very rigorous in that if so, for example, if you're a better athlete than this athlete, then you're going to get more attention than this athlete. So I think that with Kennedy Finnell going to Florida, I think I think she's going to get more attention, and I think we're going to see faster times consistently from her next year. But I just answered the Kevona Davis question. But yes, that's just my worry
I
when it comes down to the females, the saturation of the talent.
I just have one thing to say about the talents and the young talents that we have coming up. For us viewers, it is a very good problem to have. For the athletes, I am not so sure because a lot of these seasoned vets, they are going to have to sit down on their couch and watch these youngsters run for Jamaica. Some of these youngsters are about that life. They are about the fire. They are going to bring the fire, and they are going to bring the challenge to the more seasoned vets. I believe some of these youngsters will cause them a lot of problems. Now, what is interesting is that the female side, if I had a daughter right now running, say, 11-1 in 100 meters, 17-year-old in high school, she could not go pro right now under my roof. It makes no sense because making the Jamaican female sprints team, if you're not running 10-7, don't even think about it. You have to be running 10-7 to make the relay team. I'm not talking about running an individual racing. I'm talking about you have to be running 10-8, 10-9 to run the relay pool. And next year it's going to be faster. I heard Stephen Francis saying that there are about 3 women right now at MVP who are running 11 or low 11s who will run sub 11 next year. And when Stephen Francis talk, I listen. So looking at all of that, and then throwing the twins into the mix, having a low 11 PB and a 10-9 PB already, that is even more worrying for some of the senior athletes.
But Fabian, on the cusp of the conversation, I don't see a 10-1 female, sorry, 11-1 female going pro.
No, I just use that as an example because okay, let me call even at 10-19 are going pro. I wouldn't. It depends on their goals still. Because
but Fabian, look at the timelines now, because we have to be very cognizant of that,
Mm-hmm.
You have Shelly, you have Elaine, who is they are basically up close to going over the bump and go down the hill.
I would say only Shelly is at that age.
So for example, all right, but for example, each of them have 3 more years to go in them, right? I have to take into consideration injuries and all of that. Having these ladies going pro now, and based on what MVP has in terms of how they prepare the athlete, 2 to 3 years, these athletes will be on the scene. So there's a sense of continuity where the track and field is concerned when you look at somebody phasing out and then somebody rising. So you wouldn't want to leave it when that individual is at the peak and start losing before we start say, all right, this 25 or 21-year-old athlete needs to go pro.
Yeah, but my thing, coach, is that 3 years is like 3 championships, whether it's 3 national championships or 3 senior athletics championships. That's 3 championships gone, and we don't know how competitive these young athletes are, and if we assume them to be highly competitive, that can discourage persons. If you get what I'm saying.
I also think that in 3 years,
they have to start somewhere, you know, because even if we're going to look at 3 years being excluded, they have to. When Shelly and Shelly-Ann started, you know, they had to miss championships.
Yeah, for the first 2 or 3 years, I'm looking at that too. But I'm saying what I'm looking at also, coach, is that you see, in 3 years, maybe only Shelly-Ann will be gone.
Exactly, because I think Shelly-Ann is going to have a long career.
Shelly-Ann has realistically about 5 to 6 more years left.
Precisely. And
she's 30. But Shericka is what, 28, 29? Shericka has about 8 years. They are give or take, barring injuries. And then, so I divide this thing in tiers. I divide it in tiers.
So you still are gonna need people to come up on the ladder.
I agree. And then when you look at the likes of Brianna Williams, Kemba Nelson, Kevona Davis, these athletes are also ahead of these younger athletes in preparation on the senior level.
True.
So again, I am saying right now, I would not advise them to go pro, right? I would say give it 2 years.
Can I say
it for 2 years, then go pro. Because I don't want anybody to sleep and
let me take this call.
Telephone a ring, fax machine.
Carla, good night. You're live on the coach's desk.
Good night, coach. Good night, guys. This is
Tuffy Rudy, big up yourself, man.
This is where I want to challenge Fabian with that youngster going pro. Say, Brianna didn't go pro 3 years ago, and she decided to go now. How much money would she get? She same deal, because now she'll be competing against Tina and all those other people. So I think going pro, when you run in those times, no matter your age, that's the time to do it. The goal at pro is to get to the circuit, even if you don't make the national team. You go pro in order to make money and invest in money. You could always go back to school. So I kind of disagree with you on that one, Fabian. Go ahead.
All right, Tuffy Rudy. That is why I'm saying it depends on your aim. If your aim is to be an Olympic champion, your aim is to be a world champion, then I would not agree with that decision. But if your aim is to go out there, make money, feed a family while you can, then go right ahead. But as it relates, I mean, Brianna is making a ton of money right now. But there's a big debate right now surrounding Brianna Williams. Her moving, people saying she needs to move on from her coach, etc. Because based on position, she's not going to win a world champs title.
Fabian, I think that's what Tuffy said, you know. What if she had,
Would she have the same value now?
That's what he said.
Okay. What I'm saying now, Tuffy Rudy, I don't have a problem against at least going pro at a young age. we have to look at their competition. At that time, going pro for Brianna was the best thing to do. But just because it was the best thing to do for Brianna at that time, if Brianna was running right now, if Brianna was running right now, deciding to go pro now, it wouldn't be the best time right now for her to go pro. Seeing the number of outstanding female pro athletes that we have right now running for Jamaica. So in that time, it was the best decision for her. Because you have to remember and you have to look at the athletes that we currently have and what they are doing. So that time it was a good decision, but right now it may not be the best decision to go pro right now.
because because
I
at the
remember,
time,
yeah, when Brianna got pro, she was like the third fastest Jamaican at that point.
Right.
I was gonna make the point as well.
Do you think
Yeah.
Shericka will have a chance to be 2 steps ahead of her and 2 other young ladies so she's not the same value? I actually made that comment on everything channel the other day too. Knowing the Jamaicans, we don't know their financial background. So going pro when the time is right, I think it's the best thing financially for any Jamaican, especially one in the country.
If your aim is to get money out of the sport, then go right ahead. So if your aim is to go on the circuit, make money, all of that, I can't blame you for that. But if your aim is to be on top of the world, being a world champion, an Olympic champion, then you have to make the moves at the right time. So remember, everybody's goals are different. So there are some people, and we alluded to that already, that some people just want to do this to feed their family and all of that. And I have nothing but respect for these people. But again, if you want to say, I want to win the Olympics.
I think Akeem mentioned how saturated the Jamaican athletes with the female. The way
It
you
is.
sprinters and hurdlers at the teenage group now. Don't you think at this time you can't even think about being on top? You got to see the dollar, and there goes the opportunity. I'm going to make use of it and run, because maybe I'll never be #1 in Jamaica, because you have about 10 young sprinters and 10 young hurdlers in the female group. All right, guys, thanks. That's my little point.
All right, Toughy Rudy, big up yourself.
Bless up, Toughy Rudy.
Everything, Chuck.
Don't forget to call coach like I told you. Get some lessons.
Go ahead and everything. You said they wanted to say something.
I'm at this from an American standpoint, and I actually kind of agree with Fabian. Y'all are looking at it completely wrong, but like I said, I'm looking at this from this American standpoint. I think it was pretty idiotic on the Clayton twins' part, the same as Arian Knighton. But Arian Knighton, I'm gonna get to him, but I think it's idiotic to go pro right after high school or even in high school. I have 3 reasons why. One, you don't have a college education. What's going to happen when you turn out to be a bust in track and field? You're not making any money, and you get kicked off of your contract, and now you got to go into the real world. All of this, we're going to go back to college. Here's the reality of it. People here in America, especially who say they're going to go back to college but go to work first, they never go back to college. Never. If they do go back to college, they take 1 class a semester and they never finish. So that, go back to college stuff, people don't really go back to college if they go to work first out of high school. So that's the second thing. The third thing, they're running in 11s, and what was the other one? Tia was running like a 10.9, a 10.95, I believe. What money are you going to win running that? And that's their best. It would have been different if you would have ran like a 10.72 or a 10.79 like Shakari Richardson did when she was at LSU. That's different because that's money winning times. Arian Knighton, I don't think he should have did that. I still think he should have went to college as well. But the difference is he's running times that Usain Bolt didn't run at his age. So he shows potential that he can look what he did at 18 years old. He went to World Athletics already. He came in 3rd. So obviously he has the talent. I still don't agree with it. That's why I definitely agree that the people here, especially in America, you need to go to college first. That's why the rule at a high school, you need a college education, because if it doesn't work, you have something to fall back. You have a degree. You at least have an associate's degree. So, and this money part, now I don't live in Jamaica, obviously, but I know here that's not an excuse for anybody, because here you have I work and I go to a D1 Power 5 school, so I know how this works. They literally will give you a box of Domino's pizzas to every single player. And you get all the training. You're not going to be hungry. You have rods, like everything that you need is around your school. It's none of this, oh, I need money to feed my family and all that. No, that's not how it works. It's not here, at least. I mean, for some people it might, but at that point, that's the reason you're at college. You get an education, hopefully get a good job to where you can provide for your family. So them signing at 17 and they're not even running no World Athletic type times like that anyways. You're still in the 11s. Yeah, that was idiotic. I believe they should have got their degree first and then went pro like everybody else here in America. They get to Christopher Coleman. Majority of all the track runners here have their degrees. So if it doesn't work out in track, they still have something to fall back on.
No, but my thing without mute your mic coming up, please. I'm hearing a feedback. Yes, without knowledge of the contract, being the age that these youngsters are, I do believe that part of the contractual agreement is that they will continue school. I believe so. Because I don't think any parent will just be thinking about the finances and not thinking about an education for their child. So I believe part of the contractual agreement would have included going to school. And that's my take on that aspect of it. So yeah, even if they sign a contract at 17, not running fast, but running fast is relative, because once you dip in the magical number is the sub 11, for females. For males, sub 10. If a show can come at you with for you running that particular time, they would have been having eyes on him from before, so they would have seen the progress. So you don't have to run the 1072 right away for them to come knocking, because there's always growth and room for improvement. Because you might run the 1072 at 17, and then you can't reach back there. So track and field is always about progressively, incrementally improving on your best time. Lanezra, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, man, I agree a lot with what you just said, because I just say some athlete could be running now fast, and probably next 2 years after them leave, college, if them choose to go college, them not really running any time that can even compete with some of the professional, right? So I think, to me, probably taking the advantage it could work out. It probably could be the best thing. Probably go college, or I don't see nothing wrong if they make the choice now. Once they're running time that can compete on the international stage, but the track meet them at the Diamond League and stuff like that, right? So, and I always say, even if an athlete don't decide to go to college like in America, they can even stay out here and go by MVP races and go do a course at UE or UTech. You can even do online course now. So I think they even nowadays, you have more time where you can get to do online course and still further your education, right? In terms of what the times that some of the females are running at the junior level. At times they can compete on the international stage, and them can, as we say, we don't know about their financial, backing or support where them have, So maybe this are the best thing them are look on right now for try for, sustain themselves and them family. So right, will it be a wise decision? We don't know. It can work out, it cannot work out, but
exactly.
They just have to have good management and good people around them. So even if it don't work out, at least I know say, you probably send yourself go to school. To a lot of people leave high school and still go university, not because they are track and field athlete. That means they can't go pay for go for UE or UTech and go do a course as well. So, the option is still there for education. So it's not like you can go pro and you can't go study again and you can't do nothing. Right? It's just that as a Fabian they assess it. If you run 11-1 and them thing there, probably me would maybe you can really think deep in probably taking advantage of a scholarship, especially with the females that we have now, because you have to be you can't be even the 4th fastest person in the world now and make Jamaica team. You have to be the top 3. We have the 3 fastest female them. So you have to be the 3 fastest person in the world right now to make this female team. So it's not gonna be easy. But you know, I see a lot of potential, and even as how much as we talk about a lot of the junior now, next year we have a next set that come out of the school system. Maybe I go pro. So it will always be competitive. So you don't know next 2 years what will happen for you. So maybe you can run off 2 years and make some money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My thing though, you know, you see, when me would that one, no, the youth will jump whether the triple jump, I guess him to get a scholarship before. Me that probably advise triple jumper than high jumper. If you are compete and you do some jumps, we can compete on the international level. Me that probably advise them people definitely it's not a second chance when going through, because with triple jump and high jump, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but because of the training and sometimes the pressure upon the knee, you realize them don't really have a longevity like runners in other sports. So
it happened to all of the disciplines though. But I understand the point that you're making.
Yeah, but I think I guess it happened, you know, because some athletes not really last, but me just feel say more high jumpers and triple jumpers kinda them not have this longevity.
Well,
like that, like other disciplines. So if he might jump 17 at this age, he probably that advise him for go pro.
And it's not the first time he was jumping 17, you know, because he had jumped 17.04 prior to that.
Yes.
So my thing when it comes down to Hibbert, Hibbert is at the best place where he needs to be, because he's in a good jumps program.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But I think he's a world record holder in the making, in the event. That's what I think.
I mean, for Jaden, I agree with Akil about Jaden. I think he's making all the right moves. Maybe after seeing him jump that 17 again, people saying maybe he should have gone pro, but I think he's making the right moves. Going to college and all of that, and I expect to see him even jump further in the coming season. And when you talk to Hibbert, you realize the type of person that he is. He's very centered and all of that, and calm, and he is serious about what he is doing. So he's one of those, at least, that I am really looking on to really progress in the sport. I have some concerns about some others that I don't think I want to raise now. some other big name young athletes who have gone pro that I have some concerns for, but I will not say. I don't want anybody to stone me.
Can I say something about going pro in track as well? Because I saw somebody said, "Oh, what about Serena and LeBron?" Again, those were back in the early 2000s, late 90s. This is a whole different time period where the money's not the same. The money compared to what you make in track is not the same to what you make in basketball. So let's just say you even did do that in basketball. At least in basketball, these rookies are getting like $50 million contracts. So at least if you do only do good in your rookie year, you still have $50 million. These track runners aren't making nowhere near as that. Not even the best track runners are making like 1/50th the same as a basketball or NFL player. So for the person, I don't know who said that in the comment section, but you can't compare that. That's a whole different sport with a whole different type of revenue. It's not the same. But either way it goes, you still have to go to college now. Like, don't compare LeBron and Serena. This is 2022.
And we have to recognize also, that you have players who would have gone to somebody listen to the program and it'll give me a feedback. Just mute the mic or turn off that, please. Yes. Candice McLeod got her degree last year. You have Rochelle Clayton is a university graduate. Shericka Jackson, Shelly-Ann Fraser Price, Elaine Thompson here. All of them, while they were competing, they were attending school. So that's why I say I believe that in these youngsters' contract, there has to be, and that's my opinion, there has to be some sort of educational aspect to it.
Yeah.
So like even if, all right, look at a youngster like Jaden who is off to Arkansas. If he continues to do well, he would have been in the system. Now he can make a decision to go pro first year out of college. Most times what they do, or let me not say most times, what they do sometimes is if they inveigle you to go pro, then because you want to finish up your university study or your degree, a part of the contractual agreement will be that you continue school and still become a pro athlete. So a portion of that money will go towards the education. Or basically it's like paying for you to attend school while you compete as a pro.
But this is my thing, like
pros to this thing though.
Sorry to interject, but this is my thing, like, and even if they don't go to school right now, I don't think it's an issue. School will always be there, and I think that if you have a desire to go to university and do a degree, you don't necessarily have to do it when you're 19. You can probably do it when you're 28, 30, and so forth. Because my thing is, the option is there. Because my thing is that being an athlete and going to school, it's rough. My understanding is that most persons who do it, they do it part-time, and it's extended over, well, I know about for UA. Sometimes it's extended over 5 years.
Yes, that's true. You saying Bolt actually tried it with UTech, in his early days, and he had to stop because he couldn't manage it. Some persons can manage it depending on how they organize themselves.
Yeah, man, and that's true. And but you know what me think too. Yeah, as much as it take a toll to go to school, and we see some people achieve it. So we can say maybe if people can apply themselves it and definitely achieve. But one of the things where people have to look at, I think any athlete who's going pro now, is to ensure that they have good management, because what you don't want to happen, is that you may go pro and say, for instance, you're not making the money that you would have anticipated to make, right? You're probably not, you get even injured or stuff like that. How is your mental health, be able to sustain you and continue, the sport? You have enough athletes leave high school at dominate champs, go pro, and them now make it out, and it's like them just quit. So to me, I think the athletes need to also take those things in consideration in terms of how they manage them, the management where them have around them, in terms of push them and to encourage them to ensure to me that they stay on the path. Because as much as yes, college may be a issue for, well, a challenge for them, not making money as well, it could be a challenge, right? And some will, some may not.
All right. I think we're gonna have to put a lid on it right now. Half an hour. The conversation is very nice, but
I mean, I have one more thing to say about the college situation, coach. I just have one.
You soon get a chance, Fabian, but I'll give 30 seconds. See if I can go and condense it right now. But we have to end the show right now. I'm gonna give the panelists 30 seconds to give their closing remarks, and then we officially close it off. Thanks to everybody who actually came on. We have Rich Poe, Everything Track is here, Fabian Gunnar is here, Talk Track with Fabian, we have Lanezra, and we have Akil. So big up to everybody. Thanks to the persons in the comment section who came out. I see a nice little conversation going on there. Apologize that I'm not able to bring up all the comments on the board or read all the comments. But you understand and you know the thing when conversation about track and field going. So let's start off with Lanezra is 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, coach. Big up to the panelists, big up to the people and the commenters. Remember to like the video, share. And yeah, it's an interesting time. As I said, with sports, everything is a risk, right? If you decide to go pro, it may work out, and that no means that if it not work out, that no means that college would have been the better thing. Maybe you'd have go college and it fail, and then you'd have say maybe you should go pro. So it's just a part of life. As one of the panelists said, that even if you go pro and it not work out, you will still have the time where you can try to, come back and probably go school. The only probably issue you may have to fund it this time more than taking up a scholarship, right? So it's always a challenge. I think, they just need to, try to have good management, good advisors around them. Never shy away from trying to even speak to other athletes who have made the decision whether to go pro and it not work out or go college, right? And talk to them, and then it will work for some, it just will not work for some. But we just have to
Alright.
try
Kill.
the best.
I think for me, the most important thing that I would love for the juniors to understand is to find their niche in the sport. Find their niche in the sport. Not everybody will be track and field nerds. Not everybody will be you know business savvy and so forth. But the good thing about track and field is that it's an entire ecosystem, and there is a place. I think there's a place for everybody, whether or not you have a successful pro career or not. So I think as they are going as they take the risk and go into the pro circuit, I want them to also bear in mind, where they believe that they could play an integral role in track and field. For example, commentary and all that.
Remember, it's 30 seconds. Remember, it's 30 seconds. Everything, Chuck. 30 seconds.
I want 35 seconds.
No, you can't get 35 seconds. If you don't take the 30 seconds henceforth, me I'll mute the mic and call on the next person.
No, but yeah, I just like to say, before I went off, yeah, I was just gonna say, reflect on what I'll make this real quick. He has said, basically, they can fall back to college later when they're 28. The thing is, it's already hard to be a student athlete. It's going to be harder when you're 28 with a family and you need a career job. That's why it's better to go to college now than it is when you're older, because you're going to have so much stacked up on you. But yeah, I just believe that you should get your degree first, or some type of associate's degree or some type of certification, because track and field, you don't make a lot of money and you need something to fall back on once you're done. That's all I'm going to live. Anyway.
All right. Fabian.
All right, so I don't want it to be twisted. I am not against going pro. I believe in the right time, right place. And I'm going to make reference to an athlete. I believe that Kevona Davis going to university wasn't the right move for her at that time. So I was one of those who was thinking Kevona should have gone pro at that time. So I don't want you to think that I'm against going pro at a young level. I'm just looking at time and place. What might be good for Coach Minzy might not be good for me at this time. What went well 2 years ago does not mean it will go well. No, that is all I'm saying. You have to do some research and look at what is happening in your field. And again, track athletes don't make a lot of money. If you're not even if you're not in the top 10 in the world, you don't make average money. Let me say that. And from time to time, you'll hear these track athletes talk about it. Asafa spoke about it a lot the other day in a video. Remember, there are 8 lanes on the track and all of that. So even on the circuit, you have to aim to go top 10. So younger athletes, think about the decision that you're doing before you jump and make these decisions, and understand that everything in life is hard. So being a pro is hard. Going to college and running is hard. Just choose a hard and hope it works for you.
All right. Big up to Fabian. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the evening. For next week, we want to have a special guest in the house. And it could be one of those young athletes.
Shakari?
Who will be joining us. So, look out for that one. We'll be working on it throughout the week. And hopefully, it will be solidified. Thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. Big up yourself. Stay safe. Until next time.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.